Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the absolute tactical chaos of the historic South Africa versus Mexico opening match. You know the one. If you want to see exactly how immense pressure and completely contrasting strategies collide on the world's absolute biggest stage, well, you are definitely in the right place.
Let's kick things off by dropping right into the pure, unadulterated adrenaline of the commentator's reaction to one of the most explosive moments of the game. What a chance and a goal. I mean, that wasn't just a regular play-by-play call, right? It was a literal eruption of emotion that perfectly captured the electric, almost unbearable energy pulsing through the stadium.
Part 1, starting whistle and tension.
Okay, to really set the scene here, think about the venue. Out of the 10 massive tournament stadiums built or renovated for this huge global event, Soccer City was the absolute biggest, the largest of the bunch. Just imagine being on that pitch. The deafening roar of the crowd was literally a wall of sound that every single player felt vibrating right in their chest.
And on top of all that noise, the host nation carried the immense weight of an entire country's expectations right on their shoulders. We all know that kind of pressure can easily break a squad. But they had a pretty major ace up their sleeve, their manager. Having already conquered this exact championship 8 years prior over in Japan and Korea, he knew exactly how to keep his guys locked in when the whole world was watching.
Section 2, Tactics, Attacks and Offsides.
Right out of the gate, we were treated to this fascinating clash of tactical philosophies. Mexico just threw everything forward. I mean, relentless offensive pressure, clearly trying to test the host's nerves from minute one. South Africa, on the flip side, relied on incredible teamwork and strict defensive discipline, locking into a highly rigid offside trap.
And man, did those contrasting tactics play out immediately. Mexico heavily tested the nervous South African keeper early on. You had guys like Dos Santos completely dominating the early attack and Vela constantly pushing forward trying to break the line. But South Africa's preparation paid off big time. Their offside trap was perfectly synchronized, neutralizing those threats and completely shutting down attackers like Aguilar over and over again.
This incredible, perfectly coordinated defensive discipline kept the game locked at a nail-biting 0-0. But let me be absolutely clear. This was not your boring, sleepy 0-0 draw. No way. This was a 0 built on massive, mounting suspense. Every single Mexican attack felt like it was going to be the one to finally break through, and every South African offside trap felt like a high-wire act without a net.
Part 3, Counterattack and Historic Goal.
So, how does that tension finally pop? It comes down to this brilliant three-step sequence. First, a lightning-fast transition into a counterattack, catching Mexico completely overcommitted. Second, a beautiful, perfectly timed setup pass that slices right through the retreating defense. And third, number 8, Shapalala, finding himself right on the end of it to deliver a historic, thundering finish.
As we heard earlier, the commentator absolutely lost it when this masterful counterattack found the back of the net. Look at what a beautiful pass and a goal. That raw emotion mirrors exactly what was happening on the pitch. The sheer tension of that 0-0 deadlock was finally shattered by a moment of absolute perfection. It's like a pressure valve just blew off the entire stadium.
Section 4, Mexico's striking back. Now, if you thought Mexico was going to just roll over and fold under that insane momentum of the host nation, well, think again. This is where we really see their elite mental fortitude. Despite the completely deafening cheers and all the praise being heaped onto the South African squad, Mexico immediately regrouped. They pushed right back up the pitch to force their way back into this game.
But here's the crazy part. Their equalizer was a total tactical anomaly compared to the tight defense we saw earlier. After a phenomenal delivery right into the penalty box, Marquez was shockingly left completely unmarked. Think about it. One attacker facing 3 defenders, and somehow he is wide open. So Marquez literally takes the weight of the entire game onto his own shoulders and delivers a remarkably calm, clutch finish to tie the match. Just unbelievable composure.
Part 5, Final Save and Conclusions.
Okay, so with the game suddenly deadlocked again, we entered this frantic, chaotic final stretch. As the clock ticked down, South Africa pushed forward with absolutely everything they had left in the tank. They managed to create one last, terrifying chance right in the penalty box, a really desperate opportunity to secure a legendary storybook victory in the dying minutes in front of their home crowd.
But the story wasn't over. Just as the shot was unleashed, a brave, totally self-sacrificing play by a Mexican defender shut it down. A massive block at the very last
critical second. That heroic block saved the match and cemented the final draw. It was a breathtaking defensive play that perfectly matched the offensive brilliance we saw earlier in the game.
Looking back at the timeline of this emotional roller coaster, you see a perfect narrative flow. We go from a tense, tactical 0-0 stalemate right into the explosion of Chabalala's lightning-fast counterattack goal. Then, bam, Marquez answers with that clutch equalizer, and it all wraps up with a final heroic defensive save. It's an absolute masterclass in tension, release, and intense final resolution.
Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. If this explosive opening match is just the beginning, what tactical wonders and chaotic drama will the rest of the tournament bring? If a single game can deliver this unparalleled level of brilliance, wild momentum swings, and raw emotion, what does it signal for the battles yet to come? Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep analyzing the beautiful game, and I'll catch you next time.